Good morning, students. Dear students, in the previous lecture we were doing stress and type of stresses. So type of stresses we were discussing direct stresses, in which tensile stresses and compressive stresses are direct stresses, and shear stress. So all the things we have done yesterday. So next is indirect stresses. Indirect stresses. So in some loading condition, the stresses developed are not simple stresses or direct stresses. So because they are not caused by direct loading condition, all the three type of stresses, tensile stresses, compressive stresses and shear stresses develop, but they are not caused by direct loading. So bending stresses and torsional stresses are the examples of indirect stresses. So bending stress. So figure shows a simply supported beam subjected to a bending load. So due to this load, the beam bends like this. So the upper layers are in the state of compression and lower layers are in the state of tension. So NA means neutral axis. So neutral axis at which the stresses are 0. So then bending stresses are the tensile and compressive stresses induced. The tensile and compressive stress induced due to bending in the fibers of the beam in the direction of their length. In the direction of their length are called bending stresses. Again I am repeating, the tensile and compressive stresses induced in the fibers of the beam due to bending in the direction of their length are bending stresses. So bending stress, it is denoted by sigma b. So sigma bt means tensile bending stresses. So below the neutral axis are tensile bending stresses, sigma bt. So sigma bc means compressive bending stresses. So above the neutral axis, the type of the stresses are compressive bending stresses. At the neutral axis, the stresses are 0. So the neutral axis always passes through the centroid of the cross section. So next is torsional stresses. Torsional stresses so this is the figure, this is the shaft. So torque T and this fixed here torque T. So this is shaft. So then what is torsional stresses? So when equal and opposite torques are applied, at the ends of the shaft, then the shaft is said to be in torsion. The stress thus produced is called torsional stress. So the torque, this is equal to the product of the force applied tangentially to the ends of the shaft and radius of the shaft. So the torque, this is equal to the product of the force applied tangentially to the ends of the shaft and radius of the shaft. Due to torsion, the shaft has a tendency to shear off at every cross section perpendicular to the longitudinal axis. So the effect of the torsion is to produce the shear stress in the material of the shaft. So the next is thermal stress. Thermal stress, it is also called temperature stress. Thermal stress, also known as temperature stresses, So thermal stress is when the material of the when the temperature of the material is changed, its dimension also change. So if this change in dimension is prevented, then the stress set upon the material is called thermal stress. So next is strain. Strain, when a body is subjected to system of external force, deformation takes place. So strain, it is denoted by small e. It is the ratio of the change in dimension to the original dimension. So strain, it is the ratio of change in dimension to original dimension. So because it is a ratio of same physical quantity, so strain has no units. Strain actually strain is a measure of the deformation caused due to external loading. So a type of strains. Next is type of strain. The important type of strains are: first is tensile strain, then compressive strain, shear strain, and volumetric strain. Volumetric strain. So what is tensile strain? So in the figure, the body is subjected to axial tensile force P at its ends. So due to this tensile force, the length of the body increase, and is the original length of the body, and L plus delta L is the length after deformation. So after deformation, length of the body is L plus delta L. Then tensile strain, this is equal to the increase in length upon original length. So increase in length, final length after deformation is L plus delta L, and original length minus L. So delta L, this is the increase in length of the body. So tensile strain, this is equal to delta L on L, positive sign. Positive sign means the length has increased. So then compressive strain. Compressive strain, so it is denoted by EC. Compressive strain, it is the ratio of the decrease in length to the original length. Ratio of decrease in length to original length. So in this figure, the body is subjected to axial compressive load P, C. So the body is subjected to axial compressive load P. So due to this compressive load, L is the original length of the member, L is the original length, and L minus delta L is the length after deformation. So delta L minus delta L is the length after deformation. So decrease in length. So decrease in length is final length after deformation, final length L minus delta L. say original length minus L. So minus delta L is the decrease in length. So compressive strain, this is equal to delta L with negative sign, delta L upon L. Negative sign shows the length has decreased. Compressive strain, so decrease in length upon original length. So next is shear strain. Shear strain, it is denoted by phi. So shear strain, it is measure of the angle through which a body is distorted under the action of shear force. Shear strain, it is measure of angle through which a body is distorted under the action of shear force. So in the figure, say the block ABCD, so the bottom face CD is fixed and the tangential force P is applied on the upper face AB. Tangential force PT is applied on the upper face PT. So due to this tangential force, the block takes the shape A1 B1. So phi. So this phi is shear strain. Angle phi is shear strain. So in the figure, shear strain. So tan phi is equal to BB1 upon BC. So because angle phi is very small, so tan phi almost is equal to phi. So tan phi, this is almost equal to phi because angle phi is very small. So shear strain phi is equal to BB1 upon BC. So this is BB1, this is BC. So this is shear strain. So then next is volumetric strain. Volumetric strain EV. So volumetric strain is, so if the body is subjected to system of external forces, then there will be change in volume. When the body is subjected to system of external force, then there will be change in volume. So volumetric strain, it is the ratio between the change in volume to the original volume is called volumetric strain. So change in volume to original volume is volumetric strain EV, delta V upon V, volumetric strain. So thank you.